We're on the road again, travelling to ghost towns in the Goldfields of Western Australia. We're going to travel to towns including Orabanda, Broad Arrow, Goongarrie and many others. So stay tuned. I'm sitting outside the Broad Arrow Tavern, 38 k's north of Kalgoorlie. Gold was first discovered here in 1893. The railway line got here in 1896, and by 1900 the population was 2,400 people. At the moment there's about 2 houses in the tavern, but in its heyday the town boasted 8 hotels, most of which were tents and shanties, 2 banks, a cordial factory, 2 breweries, a hospital, a stock exchange, a resident magistrate, a number of blacksmiths, and even a dramatic society, which is interesting because in 1971 the feature movie The Nickel Queen was filmed at this very spot. This is the old town side of Orabanda, and it is an old town site now because I thought the pub was still operating, but clearly it's not. So Kalgoorlie, 66 k's. Broad Arrow down the road, 26, 28 k's. Mulline back down this way towards Goongarrie. And you may recall in an earlier video we visited the Mulline town site and the fabulous old stone hotel. Gold was discovered in Orabanda in 1893. By 1910 the population had reached 2,000. The old tavern here, which is one of the original buildings, has been open, closed down, open, closed down, and open and closed down since then. And currently it's closed down again. On the other side of the fence over there is the Orabanda State Battery, which was officially opened in 1913. And as you can see, well I hope you can see, it is in really poor condition. That's because it's been closed for many years. And over here are some of the old houses, the Orabanda houses, where people enjoyed the scenery and the climate when they worked here back in those days. The Orabanda cemetery. There appears to be 18 graves here. This is the ghost town site of Goon Gary, about 85 k's north or northwest of Kalgoorlie. Just a couple of buildings. We'll go in and see if anybody's home. Town site of Comet Vale, 30 k's south of Menzies. It was named after a comet which was visible when gold was discovered. And in 1895 there's a population of around 500. Not a lot visible that I've seen, a few concrete slabs, and just over there there's a tree with a bit of memorabilia hanging out of it, so that's all we've seen around here. Right, we're heading to the Comet Vale Cemetery. It's about 100 metres east of the highway. A little bit hard to find if you don't know where to look. I could only see 3 graves in there. I'll have to find out how many there are, but I could only cite 3. We're going to base ourselves in Menzies for a couple of days, and from Menzies we're going to have a look at Niagara Dam, Goongarrie, Lake Ballard and a few of the old ghost towns. Now, Menzies is a fantastic old town. It's one of the few towns surviving from the gold rush days. It has several of the old buildings that are still functional and being used today, and it is like it came straight out of 1900. It's a great town. Menzies railway station. Looks like it's currently undergoing some sort of renovation. Very similar to design of all the railway stations of the era, turn of the century, 1900. This is Lake Ballard, a massive salt lake around 50 something k's northwest of the small town of Menzies. Scattered around the lake there are something like, I think it's 51 sculptures, and the challenge is to see to how many of the 51 sculptures you can get to, because they're spread over something like 10 k's. So we'll give it a go, but I'm not feeling confident we'll get to 51. Apparently the artist that created all these statues scanned the local residents of Menzies, and each statue represents one of the locals' inner selves or something. They have a interesting look. We had a walk around the lake, checked out some of the statues, and for lunch we're going to have a ham and cheese, toasted sandwiches, cooked in the waffle iron, over an open fire.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Oh.
Good.
Toasted ham and cheese. We're at the old historic ghost town of Malign, about 40 k's west of Menzies. Gold was first discovered here in the mid-1890s. At this stage, this appears to be the most significant remnants of civilization left at Malign. This is Malign Cemetery. I can count 27 graves. I'm not sure what the official count is, but I can certainly see 27.